Hello, crypto world. Welcome to the Chart Historian. My name is Justin, and on this channel, I delve deep into crypto charts, exploring chart structures, fractals, and patterns. So, if you hold XRP and haven't heard the good news, you may be living under a rock. But just in case, there has been a major victory yesterday for XRP. This is stemming from the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. The XRP community has been in celebration mode, and I'm so happy to finally see this day where XRP has much more clarity, and I believe it's a game changer going forward. So how does what happened yesterday affect the chart and the chart structure? More importantly, is this the beginnings of a bull run? Well, for those of you who follow this channel, you know that XRP is a repetitive structure. Let me show you some of the fractals that exist in this area. So this area right here is a range-bound kind of sideways time that exists. It happened over here. It happened here. It happens in between the decline or the bear market and before the next bull run. Now, I take this structure, which is repetitive, and I break it into three different fractals. These fractals look like this. So there's fractal 1, there's different parts to it. There's part A where it goes up, part B where it goes flat. Sometimes it goes downward a little. Fractal 2, which this is where we are today. There are three waves, wave A, wave B, and wave C. And then finally, there's the third fractal. This is the fractal that leads into the bull run. So as you can see, we are currently in fractal 2. We have completed wave A. Let's zoom in here. We have completed wave B, and this, as weird as it looks, is actually wave C. Now, what does wave C do? Is wave C going to just do a small little correction and then move back up? Well, let's look at the decline that takes place on wave C. So over here, this one is actually a little out of the norm. This one goes below the low before the wave moves up, which is a little unusual. If we look further back in history, it's more along the lines here. Let me zoom in here. So here we have a large wave A, just a B that's barely defined. You can define it by the moves down before the wave begins, and then wave C right here, it comes down and it roughly goes to where the wave started at the beginning. That's where it declines. So let's go further back. So here is wave A, wave B, and wave C. And as you can see, where wave C starts and where it ends is very close to the starting point. This is the theme of this structure. So historically speaking, every single time it goes down to almost the beginning. Now, could it be different this time around? Maybe, but historically speaking, we should expect, or at least be open to, something like this taking place on the chart. Here is another iteration of this. This happened really quick. Here's A, here's B. B was just one candle up, one candle down, and C, it ended kind of where it began. So there is a long history of this fractal moving back down to almost where it starts. Most everyone knows the big name in this field, BC Backer, and he's an awesome analyst, by the way, and you should follow him if you are not, because he does have a lot of good stuff. However, the way he's using this fractal right here, insinuating that this is where we are, from my studies, I don't think he's right. I think what's going to happen is this is going to take place, this wave down, and it's going to be much more extreme than what or has potential to be much more extreme than what he may be thinking, just the standard kind of pullback. And then it's going to stall out and potentially go into something like this. So this is the third fractal. We have never, ever skipped this third fractal yet. So I don't think we're going to skip it. Let's look at how the lawsuit, when it first started, affected XRP, because it was in this sideways range-bound time. So let's zoom over there. Okay, so here is where the SEC lawsuit started, and as you can see, this fractal, it moves up, moves down, moves up, does that correction before the bull run, which is what this fractal does. However, this drop was very extreme, and this is what the SEC caused by them bringing the lawsuit, they caused this massive drop, which is what the pattern is supposed to do, but it was very extreme. And in today's victory, or yesterday's victory, we have another situation. This time, instead of being in fractal 3, it is now in fractal 2, the conclusion. And again, it is very exaggerated, just like it was over here. What we know from history is that the pattern, the structure, is stronger than this lawsuit. This lawsuit only exaggerated what was already going to play out. So will this affect the pullback and where it goes to? It could. We'll have to see. I think it's going to turn over. We are going to go into fractal 3. Fractal 3 is going to be a challenging time to go through because it is, by its very nature, unstable. It has these massive drops. Let me go further back and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here in 2017, it moves up and then it does this nasty crash right here before doing this little correction and moving up. This is the pattern. It moves up, crashes, does a little correction before moving into the bull run. This correction is going to unnerve people. Let's go further back and we examine here. Nasty, nasty crash. It moves up, drops. This wick down is, I hope we don't get that. It moves back up, does a correction, and then it's off to the bull run. Okay, so here's another version of it. It moves up, crashes down, and it goes up. Here it does this tiny little correction before going into the bull run. So, folks, you see what I mean. History is repetitive. So let me zoom in here and examine on a small time frame what this move up is looking like. Okay, so here's that move up, and as you can see, it has been following it quite nicely. However, here we see a deviation. Now, it could be a deviation, or it could be, since timing, height, and depth is always going to be unique, it could be this second wave is just much larger, and it's taking longer to play out. That is one possibility. However, I kind of question that. Here is the decline that takes place. Now, we don't know how high or low this will go, because timing, height, and depth is always going to be original. But we could be seeing this potential decline taking place. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see how this plays out. Folks, this is a range-bound fractal. It's not a bull run fractal. This structure has been followed fairly close. There have been a number of deviations, like this whole part right here was a deviation. But if you zoom out on a larger time frame, you see that it has been a very close match. And the purple one right here is actually fractal 1. You see that was a close match. This was from the same time frame, 2018 to 2021. This is actually 2018 to 19, and this is in 2019, I believe. So as you can see, it is going through that structure, and this has been adjusted to meet today's timing, height, and depth. This one a little less so than this one. This is more, I took the time to really delve into this one less. But as you can see, it's a close match. So why, here's my question, why would it all of a sudden throw all this to the wind and just skip the third fractal and just go into the bull run, which we have absolutely zero reference to in history? In my opinion, we are going to have a decline. This will make the final wave of this second fractal. After that, we will move into the third and final fractal, which will lead into the bull run. Well, folks, I hope you found this video interesting. And by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so please don't use this as financial or investment advice. I'm so glad you caught this video. If you like this type of TA, I'm the only one doing it, as far as I know. So if you find this type of TA interesting, you should hit the subscribe button. I'm so glad you caught this video. I hope you catch my next one. Have a great day, and bye for now.